And we're gonna go to the last section, and we are a little bit behind. I'm sorry, I apologize. We have the Professor Inmaculada Lara-Bonilla, that she's from the Humanities Department at Hostos Community College. She's very active. The both professors that we have here presenting in this session on counseling and immigration advice are such a wonderful professors and take care of and really care about the students. So I am really impressed by that. They are really inspiration professor for all the rest of us. So I would like to introduce Professor Inmaculada Lara-Bonilla. She's from the African professors from the Humanities Department. And she's gonna give the presentation on an advice on immigration. Due to this emergency situation, there have been some concerns about immigration that we need to address. And as immigrants, I am an immigrant, and most of us in this diversity institution and also in New York, we are immigrants. We need to address immigration issues. And we also have count here with Professor Lizette Colón. She's a counselor, and she has been working actively in our college for more than 15 years or 20 years probably. And she has a great experience, and right now she's working remotely, non-stopping in supporting students and faculty, and it's something that we really need these days. So please, I'm gonna start with Inmaculada Bonilla, and we will do the closing with our Professor Lizette Colón. So Inmaculada, are you there?
I am.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you
dear
so much, Professor Inda. Thank you for having us join this wonderful panel of women scientists. This was very interesting information for me as well. Thank you. So I'm ready to share my screen whenever you're ready.
You're ready. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay. Let me see if you can, let me know if you can see it. I would like to,
yes.
Yes?
Very good.
Okay. So I think it's missing, for some reason, the format that I chose is missing the first page, but it says updated. It would say updated immigration resources for May of 2020, because things are changing constantly in this constantly changing environment in terms of both immigrant rights and also in terms of access to healthcare services. So to begin with, I wanted to contextualize the services and the access that we have to services with just a few thoughts on who are the frontline workers who are really putting their health at risk and their lives at risk for us these days. 60% of those frontline workers in New York City are women. 80% of all social services are women. Wow. 74% are in healthcare. Okay, just let that sink in, since we're in a women in science topic this afternoon. We also have 75% of all frontline workers who are people of color. We know this, but these are the hard data that I was able to collect from the New York City Office of the Comptroller. 50% of frontline workers are foreign-born. Okay, so the immigrant population who is at the front lines is half of the entire population of frontline workers. And then of those, 19%, well, not of those, but of all frontline workers, 19% are non-citizens, wow. Which means they may be undocumented or documented immigrants, but they're non-citizens. 36% are in the cleaning services. 36% of those workers in the cleaning services are non-citizens and do not have citizenship status.
Mhm.
Okay, so just to give us a little bit of context on, the folks that we are discussing, and I know that many, because I am here sort of representing the Hostos immigration um, task force, sorry, which is a group composed of faculty, staff, and students. And also I am the co-advisor of the Hostos Dreamers Club, which is the student club that supports immigrant and undocumented, and particularly undocumented students. And the president of the Hostos Dream Team is on this call. So I salute you, Tiana. Thank you for all of the work that you do for the immigrant students in Hostos, and the continued communication while we are at home. Okay. So what is available for us at Hostos? That's Tiana. Thank you. So at Hostos, we have limited resources at Hostos per se, right? What we have is an Office of CUNY Citizenship now, with one attorney who is available twice per week. And they help students process, and family members when the time allows. They would help you process your DACA application and green card applications and other citizenship applications. Okay, so those are the cases or the types of applications that they will offer help with, and they will counsel on. Okay, so that's the limited resources that we have on our campus. But so the goal of this team, both the Dream Team and the Hostos Immigration Task Force, is to make as much information available. One of the goals is to make as much information available to our students and their families as possible. So one of the main resources for us, for all of us in the city, is of course the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. I am happy to share these links in any other format that's convenient, so that everybody can have access to them. If you visit the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs webpage, they have the most updated information in many different languages, including Arabic, Bengali, French, Haitian, Creole, Korean, Polish, Russian, Chinese, Spanish, and Urdu, for different kinds of topics depending on what you're interested in. They have information, as you can see on the screen, on COVID-19 treatment and guidance, any immigration concerns related to how to address the disease and how to obtain health care. Many immigrants are, and rightly so, under the impression that they cannot access, I say rightly so because I understand the fear of not wanting to access healthcare institutions, not wanting to approach healthcare institutions. But they can, when you click, these are all clickable items, and when you click on any of these, you will obtain much more information. And under COVID-19 and immigration concern in particular, you will obtain information that will appease those fears to a good extent, because the legislation is constantly changing, and it has recently changed so that the access to Medicaid and access to emergency rooms will not be considered public charge at this time, meaning that it won't be held against any sort of visa, permanent residency, and other immigration related applications. Okay, so this is something that folks can consult and read through to get the most updated information, and also, of course, where where to obtain the best information and the best counsel for any of these topics. These include, of course, health insurance, but also food, housing, and paying utilities, education and childcare, worker support and financial assistance, This is also, the next page is also a list of the clickable items on that page. Small business support. Many immigrants, including, of course, undocumented immigrants, are small business owners. Okay, so how to go about that? How do you go about getting the assistance you need as a small business owner? We know delivery, people who have delivery businesses, or all their cleaning, or I forget the name for the party services. So all of this is available in several languages. Again, at the MOIA, the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs website. Okay, so that's a very general website. They also recently launched an immigrant emergency relief program. That's, again, the Mayor's Office. It's supported by the Open Society Foundation, and it provides emergency monetary relief for undocumented workers and their families affected by COVID-19. Okay, any related job loss, any financial distress related to the disease. These funds are disbursed through a citywide network of community-based organizations. They will be, I should say, because the funds have not arrived at the organizations yet, at least as of Wednesday of this week. In the Bronx, they had not arrived yet. But keep an eye on this name, the Immigrant Emergency Relief Program, if you or a family member may be interested. And then the city also helps with DACA renewals. This is the number for that. This is their schedule. But keep in mind, the city has approximately 30,000 DACA recipients. So that's a pretty busy office. Now, other resources at the community level that you can access are all on the Hostos website. I sent this information to our communications team at the college, and they posted, so you can search for within news, or sorry, under announcements on the Hostos website. You can search for this this list of resources. And the announcement is called Resources for Undocumented Students and People on this page. And the link here, it will lead you to a link to a very expansive list of resources put together by the New York State Youth Leadership Council. The council is a community-based organization supporting immigrant youth and undocumented youth, and they're one of our partners, one of the partners of the Hostos Immigration Work Group. And the document, it's a Google Doc that anybody with a link can access, and it has all of these sections also where you can access information on funds, information on housing, and all of these resources in the city are open. They do not necessarily specialize in supporting undocumented folks, but they are open to undocumented students and their families. They all can access these different types of services and types of support, including, we've known cases at Hostos, people needing funeral support, of course, wellness, what to do with the internet, if we don't have access to the internet, where to go, where to obtain legal services, sometimes pro bono legal services or low bono legal services. Of course, DACA again, and the housing and emergency funds. Okay, so all of this information, this is a multi-page document. This is just the table of contents on that document that can be accessed through our Hostos announcements page. Okay, and then lastly, I'd like to point everyone, especially of course students, to the CUNY website on academic continuity. This is a very expansive website that's continually being updated, but there is a link to New York City community resources, right? And under this, I wanted to highlight a couple. One of them is the, food resources. They're very specific about, where and, how to access even a map of where you can have access to the food pantries, community kitchens. And of course, those are open to all, regardless of status, of immigration status. There is a complete guide to food resources in New York City for every neighborhood. That has been compiled by Hunter College. All the 400 meal hubs across the city, the food bank of New York City, and again, the different pantries and soup kitchens in the different communities. The same page, the CUNY page on our website on academic continuity, also offers some documents on resources for undocumented students. The first one is the one I just shared, which is also on the Hostos website. And the other two resources that they provide links to are the New York Immigration Coalition and Make the Road New York, which are community-based organizations that are working constantly to support immigrant and undocumented folks. So I just want to say, I know you knew this was going to be a very brief presentation, so I want to say thank you, Carmen, again, for providing this space to discuss, even if briefly, the needs and the support available to the immigrant and the undocumented community. I want to offer my email address to all if you'd like more information on any of those resources or access to any of them. And I also like to encourage all students to learn more about the Hostos Dream Team, the Dreamers Club, and join for next semester. We continue to work remotely. We continue, of course, to support our students to exchange information and to disseminate as much information as possible.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was really informative. The Professor Inmaculada has also been sending emails with a lot of links specific to spread out to our students. So I already posted on Blackboard, but this information that she just shared is going to be on a video on YouTube, or we're gonna work on that, and we're gonna have you informed. Don't worry. Also, thank you very much for participating in Inmaculada. It was a pleasure, and we're not gonna include a section of questions here, but we will count with your support. We have your email, so if the students want to contact you, also we will save the chat that has some questions in there, so we can cover them in another basis in an email. Thank you so much, Inmaculada. It was wonderful to work. And right now we're gonna have our last person, a professional female, who is a wonderful counselor from the college. She has many years of experience. I don't think that Lizette need any introduction because she's a wonderful figure from our institution, and she has been working for our students for many years with our faculty. Thank you very much, Lizette Colón, for being here today.
So happy to see you all, and to even, I mean, some of you are not with your video, but it's so wonderful to see even the names. So thank you, and I'm glad that you're at my home. This is my daughter's room, and I welcome to my house. And hopefully we will be able to have a celebration soon in which we will have a big party and we can celebrate. Okay, but thank you for all the information, Carmen. This was, for me, and I'm sure that for all the students that have been putting from responses in the chat, this has been such an enriching afternoon. So I really thank you for this opportunity. Are you going to share the screen, or should I do it?
Whatever you prefer. Whatever you
I'm going to
you can share the screen, because that way you have control over your computer and your presentation.
Okay.
And you just have.
So let me see if I can, if I know. Okay, so here I am.
the green button, in the green arrow that is in the bottom.
I did.
Great. So it should pop up. Don't worry.
It didn't pop up?
It should do it. It should do it soon. If not, I can do it. I have the presentation right.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yes, you send me the presentation beforehand.
Oh, mira, salió.
Esta es la mía. ¿Lo ves?
Pues vale. Muy bien.
Se la he compartido yo. That's perfect. Thank you.
And can you put it like in a way that you will be able to see? Do you see me in the screen?
Yes, I see you.
Yes, everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to try to do it in a way that it will be bilingual. For me, our language is so important, and I know that many of you also know Spanish. So I will do it in English, but I also provided you in Spanish the information. So we want to talk about grief, and a lot of us have been experiencing grief in so many ways. And one way has been la pérdida de seres queridos, loss of loved ones. So many students have called saying that they're either their family or neighbors, somebody in their near circle has been gone. And this event has been dedicated to Jaime, who used to be working with us for several years and in the Natural Sciences Department. So when something like that happens, you don't know how to deal with all that pain and what we call in Spanish, dolor en el alma. There's also loss of your jobs. Many of you have lost income. You have lost the connection. It's so wonderful when you are in the same classroom that you can touch people and you can hug people and you can see. So it's a big loss whenever we don't have that face-to-face contact. There are changes in our daily habits in terms of many of us. I see sometimes well, not sometimes, many times I stay and I check my Facebook and my Twitter, and I see the little dots of people that I know that they're still awake at late times of the night. So I know that we have lost also our sleep. This is something that really is painful for the students that were going to graduate. So we were always looking for that special day. And so many of them have a pain in their hearts, a grief, because they will not be able to share that moment with their loving, the people that they love so much. There's also loss of identity. Sometimes you feel like, my God, how can I be in this room sitting here, and maybe I'm sharing the room with 7 more and I don't have the space that I need or the resources that I need. And the same thing that affects also your self-esteem and your self-confidence. So all that pain is also pound over with encontronazos con los familiares. Whenever you are in a room or in an apartment that is small, you're going to have clashes with family members. Sometimes you feel lonely. You would like to be, I would love to be in Puerto Rico with my mother because I wish that I could be taking care of her. And I'm afraid always, I hope that this is over so that I can go there and be with her, because you really appreciate things that you would take for granted. You worry about your rent, about your utilities, about bills, about how to finish paying the things that you need even from the college. We don't know, in our college, a lot of students don't have emergency grants, and the information is not getting to the students. So that's another worry. How do we get access to those things? There's a sadness. And it's not only sadness about yourself, but it's sadness about what you see. Even when I go out and I see people with their mask, for me, it's sad to just not only being able to see the eyes. And I'm so happy that we're being responsible, but it's a sadness to have a different world now. And we have to adapt, just like the speakers were saying, we really have to adapt. There was one thing that I wanted to say. There was fear about the future. A lot of fear, and we don't know how long this will last. And the speakers were saying that it will take a while. I mean, they're trying very hard in the communities of scientifics, but this will take a while. So we have to overcome, try to be strong. And I know, and you have all the right to feel that you're breaking down, and it's normal, because that grief takes away from you. So another thing that people are angry over the news. I mean, we see the way that our so-called leaders are talking and reacting and not acting on a timely manner. So we get angry and we worry about our loved ones. So something that is also experienced by several people in this call have also lost people. And there's a feeling of guilt, how much I could have done for that person. I mean, I wish that I would have told her how much I loved the person before, or I should have said sorry. And we never had that opportunity. We have lost traditions. They are no longer a time for us to have a funeral or even to gather and cry together. There are feelings again of isolation, and we are forced to just grieve alone, and it's not easy to grieve alone. So we have to, in Spanish, we have something that we call experimentar la pena en soledad, sin contar con un abrazo. So you are experiencing that grief without the embrace of a friend. The other thing that we would like to talk about today is something that I wish that we will do more often, how to cope with that grief. Well, we have to practice self-care, and we have to take care of each other. I have to admit that, I mean, don't think that I saw the picture with the brown hair and all of a sudden this is white. I have been with white hair for a long time, but I didn't have the picture to show it to Inda. But that doesn't have to do with a self-care. It's not this. It's self-care about your soul. And you have to, besides eating well, stay hydrated, get enough rest. And I know it's not easy for the students because I know that these are going to be the last 3 weeks, and there's so much that there is being demanded from you. You have to learn about how to deal with a blackboard, how to deal with so many deadlines, how to deal with classes that you have no clue. I mean, a lot of ESL students are dealing with how to pronounce without even seeing how is it pronounced. The science courses without the labs. The other day, a student was telling me, Lizette, I'm taking yoga, and you know how I have to take yoga? I have to take pictures of myself and videos of myself and send it to my teacher, and I have no clue what I'm doing. So those are the simple examples of how frustrating it must be for all of you. So whenever they say increase resilience, all of you are resilient. I mean, I take my hat off. But it's not a matter of just being resilient, it's just a matter of how we in the college can help you to be supported. And I think that something that Inda and Professor Immaculada were saying is try to reach out to us, even if it is difficult. Send an email to Inda, send an email to me, send an email to Immaculada, send emails to people that you will know will help you to just cope with the last weeks that we have now until we get ready to get better for the fall. We have to make modifications. We have to reach out to families. I'm going fast because I know that a lot of you want to, I mean, this has taken a long time, and I wanted to share with you, I know that probably most of you have seen the movie Coco, and there was one part that says, solo se muere cuando se olvida, y yo nunca te olvido. And I don't know French, but I decided to put it in French because there's many of our students that are Francophone, and I want them to feel like we are identifying with their pain as well. And in English, you only die when you're forgotten, and I will never forget you. But I would like to see Professor Inda, is there time to just read something very quick to everybody?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, this is a poem that is called When It's Over. And something that I'm encouraging all of you is to surround yourself with things that lift up your heart. It could be music, it could be a plate of food that you share with the people that are with you, or even through the virtual. Just cook together, do things that will make your soul feel more at peace. But I just wanted to share with you this poem that I hope it works for you as much as it has worked for me. And it's called When This Is Over, Cuando esto se acabe. When this is over, may we never again take for granted a handshake with a stranger, full shelves at the store, conversations with neighbors, a crowded theater, Friday night out, the taste of communion, if that applies to you, a routine checkup, the school rush each morning, coffee with a friend, the stadium roaring, each deep breath, even boring Tuesdays, life itself. When this ends, may we find that we have become more like the people we wanted to be, we hope to be, and we may stay that way better for each other because of the worst. So I think that I hope that you can feel that you can find balance in your thoughts. Try to get a balance of things, the worst things that you feel, just try to put them in perspective. And okay, it's so terrible to be inside the room and not being able to inside as much as we did. But there will be a time in which we will be able to go back. And when you feel like you can say, okay, I'm going to honor this moment. I'm going to feel, okay, I am enjoying whatever I'm trying to be at what I'm doing right now. Even if it's hard, and it's hard, I know, but try to go for reading, try to go for meditation, try to explore those techniques. And if you have any questions about that, send me an email and I will be able to send you. There is an app that you can get for free that is Calm, CALM, and it has helped a lot of our students. There's another thing that says, let go of what you cannot control. There are a lot of things now that we cannot control. Let's just be patient with ourselves. And above all, what one of the, I think it was Professor Mushi that says the compassion. I think that we have to have self-compassion also, because sometimes we also care about so many people and we don't take care of us. So in the morning, early in the morning, and even I do morning and in the nighttime, I take a moment to say, okay, you know what? I thank the universe, God, whatever you believe in, and just give yourself time to take care of yourself and have compassion for yourself, because this is so painful and so difficult. But if we take care of ourselves, then we can take care of the others. So I just hope that this, in a brief way, because I didn't want to lose you, will help you. And please get in touch with us in counseling. Whenever you need us, we will be there. Un abrazo.
Thank you very much.